Hello everyone, welcome back to On The Sideline, and on The Sideline today we're going to be talking about all things European football. We're going to go through the Champions League draw for the round of 16, going to touch on our predictions for these rounds, we're going to look at dark horses, maybe even try and predict a eventual winner. And then we're also going to have a little bit of a chat about the recent FIFA top 55 players in the world, our thoughts on that. It might be a little bit late, but we thought if we're talking about everything European football, we're going to talk about this as well. I'm joined by Kurt as always. How you doing?
Yep, all good, thank you. Good to be back. Good to talk about some European football, but something a bit more elite than the awful midfielders in the Premier League. But yeah, let's go.
And at least you don't have to talk about Arsenal anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely.
So starting with the first tie of the round is Borussia Mönchengladbach versus Manchester City. Same again every season. City get an easy draw. However, who knows with Man City right now, especially in Europe. They drew Lyon in last season in the quarters and lost. You never know with City. They should be one of the favourites for this competition, but sometimes they're just not. And maybe that's just Guardiola struggling to actually...
I think so as well. I think they've obviously not been up to par in the Champions League, and I think that's obviously what they really want from Pep as well, like the owners. That's really what they want from Pep, the Champions League. I do think if he wins Champions League, I think won't stay for too long after, to be honest. But yeah, Mönchengladbach, it's one of the easier draws. They'll be happy with that. They're not an awful side, and you never know what's going to happen. I do think they'll definitely be on top of this win. I don't know if they'll win the Champions League, but they should definitely be coming out of this tie with the win. But like you said, you never really know. And at the moment with football, everything's just a bit crazy. But yeah, you'd expect them to win that one.
Well, obviously, I don't think many people thought Gladbach would get through their group of Real Madrid, Inter and Shakhtar, but somehow, well, not somehow, Real Madrid scraped through, Shakhtar turned up, and no one thought they would, and then Inter just capitulated despite having Lukaku and Martinez. I know in the past Gladbach have faced City in the groups, and I remember them beating them. I can't remember if it was at home or away. I think it was away actually. So they'll be hoping for more of the same this time. But despite the success of Marco Rose, I think he's one of Europe's next top managers, and there's been links with him taking the Dortmund job. Now Lucien Favre's been sacked, and I hope he does, because his style of football will suit perfectly that squad. But that's not talking about Gladbach, that's talking about Dortmund, which we'll do later. Obviously, there's quality in Gladbach's side, but you'd say on paper City should be too strong.
Yeah, they should be smashed.
If De Bruyne turns up, and De Bruyne can just probably outpass that whole team. So I'll go for a City win, City prevailing. I'm guessing you're the same.
Yeah.
What have we got next? What's next round?
Next round is Lazio versus Bayern.
And how do you see that going?
I think, Lazio are a decent side, but I just think Bayern are going to smash it because they just look unbeatable really at the moment in terms of their squad, how they've been playing. They just are an unstoppable force really. I think they should easily get through that. This
is kind of, at least last season, is the battle of the two best strikers in Europe last season, goals wise, with Immobile versus Lewandowski. I see that currently Lazio are stranded in 8th in the league, and they had quite a, not a meh group, but it wasn't a hard group like Dortmund, Zenit and Club Brugge, and they got through that. But now they're up against Bayern. I'd probably go out on a limb and say Bayern could even retain this Champions League this season if they carry on. They were formidable last season, and they just have strengthened even further with Leroy Sané. I know in previous videos you said Højbjerg signing of the summer in the league, but for getting a player of Sané's quality for between 30 and 40 million is actual snip.
Yeah.
Bayern are going to walk this, I think. If there was fans, you'd think travelling into Lazio is quite a hard place to go. But without fans, Bayern have got this easy, I reckon. Another another win on the away stated teams for me.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bayern for this one, they seem to be on a level of their own at the moment. So yeah, I'll see them smashing quite well. It depends if they get drawn, obviously, but I can see them obviously progressing far in this tournament.
Cool. So next we have quite an interesting tie actually. Atletico Madrid versus Chelsea. On paper, this is quite a close one. However, I think in terms of pedigree of managerial experience and like, it's a tale of two different stories really. You've got one in Diego Simeone, who can set up a team to win, can set up to play defensive football and grind out results, versus Chelsea, who have Frank Lampard, who is doing well. His squad is great. However, I don't see that. We've not seen anything from Lampard to show that he has that nous or that tactical awareness to grind out results in big games when it comes to it.
Yeah, I think this is definitely going to be a close tie. They've both got very good quality in their squad. I do think, just sort of thinking over two legs, I'm thinking that Atletico might actually snatch this one, because I think Simeone might be better prepared against Lampard. I think he might set out his squad better. I think he might have more of a really strong game plan. But yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. I would predict Atletico, but they're two good sides, and I mean, there's a lot of goals in that Chelsea team if they want to pull it out, if they can pull it out. But everyone knows how strong Atletico Madrid are at the back, and I think it's going to be a very interesting tie. But I'll pick Atletico on this one.
I think it's possibly the closest tie of the round. Atletico are top of the league right now in La Liga, and maybe they'll want to focus. And they've still got 2 games in hand, which is mental. Oh, they're joint top, sorry, but they've got 2 games in hand. But obviously last season Simeone went away to Liverpool or went to England and took that scalp. So we'll be hoping for more of the same again. Yeah. And he does, as a manager, he's got a thing of he can get the best out of players who you don't think will be any good. And if their players buy into that system, it's kind of unrivaled. Like, no one thought Marcos Llorente was any good until last season. He's just flourished as like that shadow striker. He got the best out of Morata, even though Morata's on fire right now for Juventus. And they've got Felix and Luis Suarez up front, so they've got clinical strikers, a solid system, and probably the best keeper in the world. Whereas Chelsea's team is still not gelled. I don't think they have a settled starting 11.
Yeah, they're having issues gelling as well.
Yeah, Havertz has had issues with COVID and not really settling in the league. Timo keeps on being playing on the left. They don't know who their preferred striker is. There's just a lot of questions. I have a feeling we might be like predicting the same for everyone, which is kind of a bit bad for the video, but I'll go on a limb, sod it. I'll go with Chelsea. Just for
all right, fair. Just for the competition, yeah. I think Chelsea, they do have a bit of that sort of view. Even though they haven't been that strong in the Champions League like the last few years, they have got a lot of that European prowess, and they might just turn up. Like, you never know, especially with those players. Like, they have got a very, very good squad.
They've got Champions League players like
Ziyech
has proven it in the Champions League. Werner's proven it in the Champions League. Havertz has, I believe, proved it in Europe at least. It's just whether
and
the whole
Atletico
team
can be a bit hot and cold as well.
Yeah. So I'll go on. The next one is also, I think, is closer than people make out, because obviously it's Leipzig versus Liverpool. Obviously Liverpool, arguably one of the best teams in the world in Europe right now, up there with Bayern. They do have injuries. They don't have Van Dijk. They don't have Gomez. They're missing Thiago as well, I believe. Or is he just back? And Jota.
Thiago's out. Jota.
Obviously, Leipzig are lucky to get through the group after that. They got hammered away at United. And somehow scraped through from just United being crap. But we're not relevant anymore, because this is about Champions League football, not European League football. But I do think when Nagelsmann is another one who is on the precipice of becoming Europe's top managers. People say he will go to Bayern at some point, but he could probably take any job in the world if they wanted him right now.
Yeah, definitely.
And their squad is that the Red Bull system is very innovative in the sense that the whole squad can play many different roles. Like, you can shift centre backs to the wings, centre mids to the wing backs, It's very interchangeable, and there's a lot of talent in that squad, and they're just going to be sold on for more. And they're like obviously with their sister link to Red Bull Salzburg, they've just received the hottest property in world football, one of the hottest properties in world football in Dominic Szoboszlai, beating out a lot of other clubs, and he's just going to go into that team squad and strengthen it even further. However, I know Leipzig are good at home. Obviously, they knocked out Spurs last season, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yep. And obviously, Liverpool will want to do better than they did last season in the Champions League. But it's hard to not think Liverpool got this.
Yeah, I think Liverpool. Bayern obviously won last season. Liverpool before that. I think really the whole it obviously all depends on draws, but you'd pick between them two as favourites. Maybe City as well, but City have yet to really show me in Europe they're like proper threats. But yeah, Leipzig, Liverpool. I think Liverpool should get through with even a small amount of ease, but none of these fixtures are easy. Leipzig are a good side, but Liverpool should win. I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a fair contest. I think Liverpool will win, but it will be very competitive. So yeah, it'll be another good fixture.
Okay, so with next is FC Porto versus Juventus, and I'm guessing that we're both going to go for Porto here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
No, I think this is possible. Well, Porto are strong at home. It's always a tricky time to go away to Porto, and Juventus have blown hot and cold. Obviously, sacked Sarri last season. They have Pirlo now, a very unproven manager, but they still have. I'm not going to get debating on who's better out of Messi and Ronaldo, but they still have Cristiano Ronaldo, unreal goal scorer, and they aren't doing very well in the league, but I believe they got through. Did they top the group? Or did they come second with Barca in that league? In that table?
I'm not sure. I think they topped the group. They got Porto. I don't think Porto topped their group. I'm not sure.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. City would have topped the group, so yeah. So Juventus topped that group with Barca in it. And they do look a strong team. On paper, at least. They would consider themselves one of the favourites for the Champions League. You never know, though. Obviously, their other rivals have better managers.
Yeah.
Just about better squads, but maybe arguable. But it's probably the easiest one to call out of these. And
I think this and City are the probably two easiest.
Yep. So another Juventus for me, and you're going to be Juventus for you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Juventus got a really strong squad. They've got Dybala's firing at the moment. They've got Ronaldo. They should really be winning this with a fair amount of ease as well. I don't think Porto have much of a chance, to be honest.
Okay, with Atletico Madrid Chelsea, this is probably the glamour tie of the round at least. It's Barcelona versus PSG. If this was Barcelona of old, I think this would be quite hard to call. But I don't see. Barca's a sinking ship, really. They have the quality. If Messi turns up, then obviously he can win a game for them alone. But I would back PSG on this myself. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think this is actually quite interesting. I think Barca they're obviously not doing so well in the league at the moment. I think they're 6th. I'm not too sure. I think they're 6th though. And obviously, yeah, Messi might be leaving potentially. Who knows what's going to happen? He's not really playing. Will he be selected in the Champions League? Surely you think you've got, one of the best players in the world. You've got to play him. But I don't know if he's fallen out of favour at Barcelona. They don't really seem to be firing too much. But PSG as well, they've seemed a bit naive at times in Champions League. I think did Barcelona knock them out 2 years ago with that massive comeback? Or was it the other way around? I'm not too sure.
No. Barca beat them in that. Well, I can't remember the name of the game, but they did turn that 6-5 around or something.
It could be. It's going to be a very close tie because even when it's Barcelona, they're not firing. They are still Barcelona, but like you said, the cracks are really showing with Barcelona. Before they've sort of papered over them, but now it's like, wow, they really are sinking.
You're struggling when you're playing bloody Martin Braithwaite up top, who could barely score in the Premier League for Middlesbrough, and somehow he is a Barcelona player, which is the ludicrousy of football right now. I find it funny that when Suarez left, I believe Braithwaite was like, "No, can I have his shirt?" And they just flat out denied his shirt number.
Yeah,
Just shows
I'll
how-
pick Barca in this one just for a bit of competition, and because I think I'm not so highly rated of PSG as most people are, so I'll back Barca in this one. But yeah, we'll see. Should be an interesting contest.
I'd go with PSG, despite them being like perennial underachievers in the Champions League for the money they spent, their squad. They did make it to the final last season, and they were within a shot of winning it. Obviously, we have to take into consideration who their manager is by the time of like when they play. Obviously, Thomas Tuchel got let go on Christmas Eve. I think Tuchel got let go.
Yeah, I think so.
Which is always a lovely time of the year to be let go of your job. But there's links with Pochettino. Who knows? Like, if that happens and if he gels with all these players, then that could be like a match made in heaven. But PSG struggled in the group with United and Leipzig. Like, we beat them away, but then they beat us away. So I think it's PSG's to lose, but they do have that thing in their armour that they can do it. Like, as in they can fluff up.
Yeah.
But I'll back PSG on this. Next, penultimately, we have Sevilla versus Dortmund. And I think this is a comfortable win for Dortmund. However, they have been quite dreadful in the league as of late. They're currently 5th. And obviously they sacked Lucien Favre in December. So they don't have a manager right now. And I think Haaland's been injured, but he might be... I believe he'll be back by the time of the game. But I just don't see... I don't see past the quality in that Dortmund side. Like, Sevilla they're a Europa League specialist, and they are a decent team in European football. But I have a feeling like Dortmund will do them in this tie.
Yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you. I think Dortmund should be like Seville. One of those teams you never really know. They can turn up. They've got some decent quality in their squad. Like Campos is pretty good. De Jong is, I guess, tried and tested up front. But yeah, if you look at that Dortmund squad, it really is much higher level of quality to that Seville squad. So you'd expect them to win, but you never really know.
Cool.
I'll back Dortmund as well.
Both going Dortmund.
Yeah.
And finally, we have Atalanta versus Real Madrid. I'll let you predict first.
It's difficult. I think Real Madrid are struggling at the moment. People say that them and Barca are the same. I don't think it is the same. I think Barca are struggling a lot more than Real Madrid. But Real Madrid are still struggling at the moment. They've been a bit sort of fortunate that Benzema's still turning up. And you can sort of see at the moment what quality striker he is, because before he was sort of in Ronaldo's shadow at Madrid, but now he's really come into his own. But Atalanta as well, they're a bit of a dark horse, you know. They're a very good side. Good side. Oh wow, yeah, they're a good side. And I expect them to give Real Madrid a fight. That's what I expect. But I think Real Madrid just, Champions League crazy winners in Champions League, so I expect them to go through. But I think Atalanta will give them a good game. But yeah, what do you think?
So obviously, like, Real Madrid are perennial winners. Like, they've won it the most times. Like, Zidane knows, if anything, how to win a Champions League. I'm going to stick a limb out here, and I'm going to go for Atalanta. I know one of our listeners, our very few listeners, but maybe more, will be very happy to hear that. But yeah, obviously Atalanta had a crazy campaign last season when they lost like the first 2 or 3 games in that Champions League group, but still made it out, and then stole people's hearts by the way they play their football. They play a great attacking brand of football, and it did eventually get sorted out by Leipzig. But a lot can be said. Obviously, there's rumours that Papu Gomez has fallen out with Gasperini and wants to leave the club, and he's like their cult figure there. But I guess Gasperini has done so much more for that team than Papu has.
Yeah.
And without Papu, they've still got Zapata, Muriel, Ilicic, as well as others in attacking roles. And I just think this Real Madrid team is gettable at. They barely got through the group stages. They were lucky to get out of it.
Yeah.
And knowing them, they'll probably just kick on now somehow.
That's what I reckon will happen as well. But
that team's aging.
To go through.
I don't know if Ramos will be fit by that point. I think I swear he got injured recently. and that
I
he is
don't know. I think he's
dependable.
playing with Varane still at the moment. I think he's all right.
But that midfield is getting on a bit, like with Kroos and Modric. But and main man Eden Hazard is probably just, I say, fallen off a cliff a lot on this channel, but he really is not.
That is really a flop, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, he really needs to do something. So I'm gonna go with Atalanta, at least for just for a bit of difference. But I still think they'll get through. So that sums up our predictions for the ties. Do you have any dark horses out of those? Out of all the teams that you think could? Obviously, anything's possible in football, and as we've seen,
Are we talking winning the Champions League?
You could do winning, or maybe dark horses to get to the final, maybe, or to go further than people would think. Like football is, anything can happen, but especially in the day and age with no fans, it seems even more so that anything can happen right now.
Yeah, I think Dortmund, because they have a lot of quality in their squad, but they've not really impressed me too much Champions League. I remember Tottenham had them in, I think, round of 16, like maybe the year before last, and I thought this was when they were in really good form as well. And I thought, this is going to be a really difficult tie, and I think we really rolled over them quite easily. I think that's when we got to the final. I think, yeah, I think so. But anyway, Dortmund, I hope they do well. I like Dortmund. I like their squad. I hope they really get into the late rounds. And also another dark horse. This is a bit I know I picked Atletico, but I think Chelsea could actually be a dark horse. I don't want to back them too much because I think they'll get found out by a more experienced quality side. But Chelsea, they've got the players for it. If they can turn up, if you look at their team on paper, they're starting 11. If they start to gel in this period before these fixtures, they could be dangerous. If they can somehow get for Atletico, I don't know. Chelsea, they've won it before. I think they've got a lot of talent. I think it's possible. What do you think?
I'd go out and say a dark horse for winning could be Atletico. And maybe Juventus. I think a dark horse for getting quite far. I kind of see that Leipzig could turn up and do Liverpool. I don't know why. I just think they could be caught out. Maybe not at Anfield, but they could do what Atletico did last season and just surprise them. And I also have a feeling I could see a situation where Gladbach do City somehow. Maybe on away goals. But
did Leipzig not do Liverpool last year?
No. Leipzig beat Spurs. Atletico beat Liverpool.
Not Liverpool after that?
No.
Atletico, yeah, sorry. I don't know where I'm getting that from. Yeah, go on.
I would agree with you, though, in the sense that I'd love Dortmund to go far, because I actually went to see them this year, which seems like 3 years ago because of the whole pandemic. But I can't believe in January I was actually in the Wolfen Stadion with 80 other thousand people chanting. I was going to say something funny. Edit this out. I was going to say something funny after that.
Alright.
But yeah, who would you say is a winner? Who would you put your money on?
The winner of the Champions League?
Yep.
Bayern Munich. I think that they just look a level above every other team at the moment. And even though Liverpool, I think Liverpool look a level above every other team in the Premier League. I think Bayern, in terms of European football, they look a level even above that on their own.
I'm gonna say City, because if I was to put any money on it, that means they won't do it. So that's what I want to happen. So I'm gonna say City, just so they don't do it.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's Bayern's to lose, really, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. That wraps up this portion of our video. We're going to now talk about, leading on from our, obviously we thought Bayern can retain this title. Let's look back. Justice for Lewandowski. Obviously, Ballon d'Or got cancelled. So FIFA decided to release a list of top 55 players of the 1920 season. And we're just going to go and have a look and share our thoughts. We're not going to go through every player. We're not going to tier list them, sorry. I know you love our tier lists, but we're not going to tier list the top 55. So they announced the best 11 was Oblak, Trent, Ramos, VVD, Alphonso Davies, Kimmich, De Bruyne, Thiago, Lewandowski, Messi and Ronaldo. Which I think On paper, it's fair. I don't have any gripes about that at all. What I do have gripes with is the top 55.
Yeah.
And what would you say is the most controversial or the most stupid or you don't agree with selection on that list?
The biggest controversial one, which I think we know who it is. I don't want it to be him, but it's Dele Alli. Because, I mean, Dele Alli for me, he's been a flop for not as a career. I mean, he's been a flop as a player for the last probably 2 seasons. He had 1 or 2 good seasons before that, and the last 2 years or so, he's been really lackluster. Nothing really too special. He's still very young, which people overlook a bit. I think he's 24, but as a Spurs fan, I'm happy to get rid of him. But that's neither here or there. But anyway, top 55 players. There's no way Dele Alli's getting in there. I probably wouldn't put him in the top 200 players, to be honest.
I'm going to go on and just say, how the fuck is Dele Alli in the top 55 players of last season?
Yeah.
What's even more interesting is, I was speaking to a friend, and I reckon we could probably name 55 players better than Dele Alli.
They're not in this 55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think a couple of other ones to say are mainly defenders. You can question how Marcelo and Jordi Alba are in there. Name value, I understand why they're in the top 55 in the world, but recent performances, they're just they're getting worse with age. They are deteriorating. Marcelo especially, he's not even first choice at Real Madrid anymore. But I think equally on this controversy is Dani Alves. How the hell is someone who doesn't even play right back in anymore playing in the Brazilian first division at Sao Paulo in the list of top 55 players in the world? That's a joke.
I don't know how they do this list. I don't know how they qualify. Even Ibrahimovic, this is going to sound silly because of recent form. Ibrahimovic's been phenomenal, but I want to know when this is made from, because Dele Alli's got in here. He's been awful recently. Aubameyang, obviously great last year, but this year's been really, really meh. So when does it start from? Because is this like Ibrahimovic, some of it's MLS, or when did he go to AC Milan?
I believe he went the end of the MLS season, so he would have been at Milan from the start of 2020 as the year, so probably from January. And
is that what this is based on, 2020?
No, it's based on the whole season. I believe it's voted by players.
Yeah, because
as well as FIFA,
Ibra's one of those ones as well. He's a massive name. I know he's been good this season at AC Milan. I'm not trying to say he's been bad or take anything away from him, but I don't know, in the time period this has been done for, is he really in the top 55 best players in the world? He's a good player, but where's Immobile? If we're going to put Ibrahimovic in there, where's Immobile? I'll put him over him.
Especially when you how can you go from scoring the most goals across Europe, across Europe, and you don't get in the top 55? This is laughable, really. I feel like other criticisable selections are for more defenders, like Jerome Boateng is lucky to be on this list. He's lucky to be. I know he won the league and Champions League, but if Nicolas Sula didn't get injured, he wouldn't have even started for Bayern. They were trying to ship him on. I feel like Thiago Silva is also lucky to be in there. He's always favoured by FIFA. Don't really know why. He won the league with PSG after their season got cut in half. Didn't even play in the Champions League final because they decided not to keep him back. And now he's at Chelsea doing okay job, but if you go in with any experience, you'll do well in that back line. Also, I don't Coutinho's lucky to be in there just because he won the Champions League. I don't think he was great at Bayern. And then you have people like David De Gea, and despite being a United fan, David De Gea is so lucky to be in that list.
Even Lloris as well. I really like Lloris. I don't think he's done anything wrong this year, but there probably are.
There's a lot of goalkeepers on this list for the one position. Keylor Navas is probably lucky. Donnarumma's even probably lucky to be on here. They shouldn't really be involved in the question. There's a distinct tier below of Oblak, Edison, and Allison from the rest.
I
of
want to
the
know like how you get into this. I know you said it's voted by players, but for example, like Koulibaly, we all know he's fantastic, like centre back, but what has he really done to get into this in top 55? You know.
I think they probably just maybe FIFA select like who they think, and then like the results are voted by people.
Alderweireld as well. That is very questionable. Like I like Alderweireld. This season, the Reno's been great, but this must be done a little bit before like this season, this new season now. Like how has he got in there? And also, that's sort of I think that's pretty much everyone that we think is very questionable. They're in here. I'd also want to ask you: do you think there's anyone that should be in here that's not?
You just took the words straight out of my mouth. That was literally going to be my question to you.
Yeah.
So I think Rashford probably deserves to be in this list compared to some of the options up front, like Immobile, like you said. I can't. Can you see Jadon Sancho on the list?
No.
Jadon Sancho more so, and Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling definitely deserves like those three there. But I probably said them in reverse order of who's more deserving to be on this list. But all three of them deserve it. Who else had a great season last year?
Did Vardy have a good season? I'm not really sure how.
Yeah, no, even Vardy. Yep, even Vardy is probably more deserving. Definitely over Ibrahimovic. Maybe someone from Atletico. They've only got Oblak on this list, I believe.
Well, Felix, but I don't know if he's really like should be in this sort of list. I don't know. They like to push youngsters in it, but obviously not Sancho. Mbappe obviously getting there. Aubameyang, he was very good last season. 22 goals, I think. So I understand why he's in there. Who else should be in here? Kante?
Yeah, Kante's there.
He's there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He'd
top
even
right, yeah.
even like someone from Sevilla, like Eva Banega, was great last season when they won the Europa League. You could put maybe someone like Koundé or Diego Carlos or not even Jesus Navas. Jesus Navas had a much better season last season than Dani Alves.
Yeah, he was regular on at Sevilla last season as well.
Yeah.
He had quite a good season.
Yeah. There's a big case. Like it'll be interesting for us to try and make a list of 55 players better, more deserve. Let's not say better, but more deserving is probably the best way of describing this. Than
I think
Ali
40, 45 of this list is probably correct, but there is like that 10, 15 sort of gap of like.
There's some questions raised big time.
Like you definitely put Sancho over Ali in there. Like there's not even a debate, especially in the last year.
And Sterling, Sterling low-key had an amazing.
I know they're not the
season,
same position, but
there's a lot of English bias there. But obviously, we predominantly watch Premier League football. But if you can just name like 4 strikers off the top of your head, or 4 forwards, sorry, they'd easily make it more. Like even like Bayern got a big plus, like a big like preference. You could make a case of putting Kingsley Coman in this if others made it, just purely from like he got the winning goal that got them Champions League.
Yeah.
All in all, there's more positive than negative about this list, but the negatives are just so shocking and head scratching that is why we're talking about it. Really, at least it gets conversation going.
Yeah. Also, I don't think, unless I'm like being really silly, I don't think Trent's in this.
No, Trent is.
Oh, he is. Oh my god, I keep looking for him. Just as I say, he's not there. He's in it. Yeah. No, it's a bit shocking, really. Especially people like Mobley that really had like a fantastic year. You think they'd be in there, but it's like you said, it's a bit of big team bias. There's
no
not, apart from
Dybala.
Koulibaly, there's not really any players here that don't play for big teams. Obviously, Dani Alvarez, but I don't know how the hell he's in there. Apart from that, I don't think anyone else is not yet. Yeah.
Like maybe you say Ibrahimovic and Donnarumma at AC Milan aren't a big team anymore. But like even Lukaku's not on here, or Lautaro Martinez.
Yeah.
Like there's so many forwards. I know there's so many amazing forwards in world football right now, but like you could make a big case for a lot of them. Like you'd think also Modric, Kroos, and Casemiro. Maybe not Casemiro, but Modric and Kroos are probably lucky to be on there. Just from like recent.
Did Werner have a good year at Leipzig as well?
Yeah,
that's a bit too might be a bit too like clutching at straws, but there are a lot of players that have good seasons that are not even like they have better seasons than people in here.
Yep, for sure. So we'll just sum this up. Going back to the top 11, I said I think I didn't say I had any like qualms with it, but who would you say probably is more deserving to make that list than didn't make it?
I guess the Liverpool players are on there. The thing is, you can't really argue with the Liverpool players on here.
Would you say that like Messi and Ronaldo deserve it every season? Or would you have put someone in to be different, maybe an Mbappe or a Neymar or a Salah?
Yeah, Messi's a bit questionable this year. I think that maybe Neuer could be over Alisson.
It was
in the
Oblak,
top
no?
11. Oh, Oblak. Sorry, yeah. No, yeah, but anyway, I think it could be Neuer as the goalkeeper.
Yeah. That's not a bad choice.
Trent's not had an amazing year. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of this season, but yeah,
He
I don't
did
know.
get Young Player of the Year and he won the Prem.
You just think, yeah. You also think like who's really better. So yeah, there isn't really anyone. But KDB, decent year, didn't win anything. Yeah, Davies has been fantastic this year. It's a pretty fair. Like Kimmich definitely deserves it. Thiago at Bayern definitely deserved it. I don't want to hear any Liverpool fans claiming that Thiago's like he's anything there. But yeah, obviously Lewa. I would say Mbappe probably instead of Messi. Apart from that, I'll probably keep it as is. What about you?
Okay. Like I said, I didn't really have anything. Like Davies is lucky. I think as a whole year, he probably wasn't even starting. Maybe you could make a case of just putting Alaba there instead. But
Also, Fernandes maybe instead of De Bruyne. If it's from January, is there not an argument that you could put Fernandes in there over KDB?
You could definitely. I think it is the whole of last season, but definitely Fernandes was unplayable and still is unplayable at times. But De Bruyne is definitely still better.
No.
Yeah, it's hard to have any like. You can always say, does Messi and Ronaldo deserve it every year? It'd be nice to take them out just because they are a different breed. But yeah, I can't see anyone else I would make a real shout for.
Yeah,
so
no, that's fine.
I think let's wrap up this European chat now.
Yeah.
So we've gone through our Champions League predictions, said our dark horses, thought about our winners, and then we touched on how the fuck are Dani Alvarez and Dele Alli, as many as others, are in this top 55. I hope you enjoyed this kind of different style of video that we've made. We're going to look to try and make a bit more of a podcasty style video, discussion pieces, maybe reacting to some reacting to news and things going on in football. I hope you enjoyed us taking another, also going away from just Premier League focused content and Football Manager focused content and enjoying a bit of more continental football.
Bit of a chat.
Yeah. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, do you know everything to do. Share this video around your friends, family, your dogs, your pets, whoever. And I'll see you next time. So I'll let you finish. Kurt,
yeah, speak to you guys soon. Thank you for listening if you made it this far. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the chat, and yeah, we'll have more of this in the future. So yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.